Hey, what's up YouTube? Coin Flip back, and today is an exciting one. I bought this at an online auction. I believe it was in the state auction, and this is a small coin collection. Everything in this box I got for less than $100 out the door. So online auctions, sometimes you'll have the actual auction premiums or fees, if you will. Those can range typically anywhere from 10 to 20% of whatever you're bidding on, plus that 10 to 20%. A lot of that's going to cover credit card fees and their time. Obviously, they're going to get a percentage from the seller's fees and costs as well. So, and then of course you're going to have tax with your local state tax laws and such. That being said, I got this entire box for less than $100, and you're going to see what's inside. We're going to go over it. It could be a long video, so I will just apologize in advance, but we'll try to go through it as best as possible. I haven't looked at everything in here. There was a couple key indicators of why I bid on this box, and I'll show you in a few. Anyway, let's get this thing opened up and start seeing what's inside. I'm excited. Hopefully you are too. Let's go. So before I even get into this, some of my thought processes I've gone over in the past of my auction purchases with you. Some good, some bad. This one, there was a couple, some of the pictures were not that great, and I've also talked about that if you've seen my previous auction buy videos. I'll link some of those up in the top right for you if you're interested. But that being said, first of all, look at this old metal box. And once I open it, you'll see this is actually a coin box, which is pretty cool and significant all in itself, in my opinion. I don't have anything like it, so I just thought it'd be kind of neat to display some old coins that are in flips. Also, I did see that there was a couple pictures that were very blurry. Couldn't really tell what they were, but they had some very interesting years. And then also there was a couple coins that said 1909 VDB. You probably know what that is. Some Lincoln Wheat cents, 1909 VDB. So those are kind of the key indicators of me purchasing this. So I thought if there had some of those good coins in here, of course the 1909 VDB isn't as popular as the 1909S or SVDB, but still a pretty cool coin nonetheless. Those are kind of the indicators and pictures I could see that made me want to bid on this and see what kind of adventure we could get into. So without further ado, let's open it up. Also, before I forget, one of the other details that was listed in the auction for this was there was over 100 coins. So I haven't counted them, so I'm not sure what we have. We may do that at the end. But anyway, you can kind of see here, we have all these flips all the way throughout, and some sitting down here in the bottom in these smaller 1.5" style flips. And already we have some old wheat pennies, it looks like. So I think the best thing to do is get all this loose stuff, which these are typically from the Littleton Coin Company in these plastic deals. This one happens to be a 1968S uncirculated. We'll get all this stuff out, kind of go through it, and bring you in if we have anything very cool or interesting. All right, I'm going to slide this down here and kind of show you. Start with this one. This is actually, looks like 250 Central Bank of Iraq, 250 dinars. I'm not sure what year that is, but it doesn't look terribly old. And there was 24 coins in the Littleton packages, if you will. A couple to note, there was a 39S in there, and it's in, you know, average condition. That's what it says on the package, average circulated condition. So nothing too crazy there, but that is a semi-key date, so low mintage on there. I'll put the mintage up here in the top left for you of that one. 1939. Again, average circulated. That's a Philly wheat cent for you. But again, nothing too spectacular. There was some 2020 quarters uncirculated. Unfortunately, they're not the W's. I think they're all Denver's, if I recall. Yep. So this one we had the Samoa, Lowell, and Weir Farm. So unfortunately, all 2020 Denver's, but they are uncirculated. They do look brand new. I'm not sure what the, you know, is this a subscription type deal? I assume it is from the Littleton Coin Company, but if you do know, post in the comments. I assume this is probably targeted at elderly people or new collectors. Then we had that 68S. Did have a couple proofs. 1989S, deep cameo, pretty cool. There was a 1940 Jefferson nickel, again, circulated condition, kind of what we find in our nickel hunts. Another 68S, uncirculated, red. And then lastly, we had a 2015 S proof. It is clad. It's not silver. That's the Kasachi. So pretty cool stuff to start. Nothing too crazy, but 24 coins and some currency. So slide this back here real quick just so we can get a better eye and glimpse. So basically we have each row. We'll probably just kind of go row by row and show you what we have in here and then go from there. But I'll try to do this in a timely manner. I won't spend too much time unless there's something extremely unique, but let's see what we have and hopefully there's some pretty cool stuff. So we'll just start at the back here because it's easier to grab, and then we'll just kind of move the stuff back so we can know what we've looked at. This one looks like Canadian, 1996, $2 it says. It's in an improper flip size, so it's like bulging out. I don't know much on the Canadian series, so Catarrhal Hunter, if you are watching, first of all, I would appreciate that. But second of all, maybe you can give me some tips or things to look for on Canadian. This is also Canadian, 1987 dollar. I believe it's Canadian. Yeah, that's going to be a loonie, I think they call those. It's got the loon on the back, and I don't know much about those, but 1987, unless there's something crazy to look for, I'll have to do some research on that stuff. All right, continuing the Canadian fashion. Wonder if that's what this whole row is, but 1996, this looks like another $2 coin. And just from watching Catarrhal Hunter, also, I do know they have a lot of fakes in these, so hopefully these aren't fakes. That'd be real bad. All right, now we're talking 1918 penny. This is a real penny. I know in America we call our cents or pennies often, but 1 cent Canada, 1918. Hopefully the camera's picking some of this up for you. But that's pretty cool. I'm not sure the value of that, but that looks pretty neat. I might hang on to that. 1940, this looks like a large penny, and that's in really nice condition. It's got the brown look, but details are really good. And actually that was the case for this one as well. This 1918 has some really good detail considering the year. So hopefully, like I said, I can pick some of that up on the camera. I know it's in plastic, but the detail on these coins so far, pretty good. 1962 halfpenny. Again, I don't know much about these, so I apologize in advance. But this has that ship on the back. 1962, again, great detail. A little bit of wear and stuff on there, but overall, pretty good details. A little bit of a rim ding on the side there, but overall, pretty impressed with the condition of these so far. 1903 penny. This is also Canadian, it looks like. 1 cent, 1903. So this one does show some signs of wear, which I guess would be expected of something of that age, but still pretty cool. I don't have a lot of Canadian stuff in my collection, so to have some old stuff like this is kind of cool. It's always unique to have some of that old foreign stuff. 1966 halfpenny. This looks like it's also an improper flip size, so I'll probably have to transfer some of these over to the correct size. Staple job is not great, but this also has the ship on the back, but get that right angle, you can still see some pretty cool luster on this coin. So really good detail. 66. Again, it's not terribly old, so I'm not sure if there's much value in some of these. And again, I just want to touch on this box. This box is pretty cool. I haven't seen a box like this, and again, maybe some of the old timers have, but I haven't, and I just thought it was pretty neat. It was in this style box. If you do want to go to a coin show and you have a bunch of stuff in flips, this should travel pretty nicely and keep your stuff protected and not banging around on each other. So pretty cool. All right, next one up, 1954 halfpenny. And again, this one is in pretty good detail. These staple jobs are not great, but we'll probably take them out of these flips and get them in something else. So a little bit of wear on the young head, it looks like, but overall, pretty good detail. This has got to be, I'm not a ship guy. I was in the Navy, which is funny, but this old ship on this coin is pretty neat. I don't know, it just jumps out at me a little bit better than some of those other ones. But leave your comments below what you guys think so far, or if any of these jump out at you. Okay, this is interesting. Had some stuff crossed out. 1774 question mark. And I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up here, but there's like a cross on this coin. And on this side, it's moving around. Some dust on this. Okay, so here's the date. I hope the camera picks this up, but this top part looks like a crown of some sort. And the date, 1774 or 1274, I don't know. I may have to take a picture of this separately under the microscope for you and put it up here in the corner, but we'll do both sides. I have never seen this. I'm going to have to do some research on this and see what I can find out, or take it to the local coin shop and see if they can give me a hand. But that could be pretty interesting. And if that is a 1774, that'll be the oldest coin I own. That's very unique and interesting to say the least. 1916. Okay, this is pretty cool. These are 5 cents. These are silver. I believe these are 80%, if I recall. but I have some 1921s, and this looks to be in pretty decent shape. It's got a little bit of marks or toning on it, but overall the detail, oh, sliding around. Pretty cool 1916 Canadian 5-cent piece. All right, last one in this row. Everything looks to be Canadian in this row. 1918 halfpenny. Again, wrong size flip, so you can't even really see the coin. I think that's King George V, if I recall. Unfortunately, you can't really see that one. Okay, we'll move on to this row. This one should be pretty quick. We had a bunch of these that I kind of showed you briefly, but this 1911, unfortunately, looks like it has a scratch right across his face. So 1911, wheat cent. 1916, these are in just kind of average condition, nothing, you know, probably that VG range, if I had to take a guess. 1917, kind of the same overall condition and story here, it looks like. 1919, no mint marks, so pretty common years. And a 1973 S-proof quarter. Looks to be in pretty good shape, a little bit of haze. Looks like some sticker material on the back, but all right, nothing too impressive yet. Maybe there's some pretty cool stuff here. That ancient coin, might leave that one out. Kind of the best coin of the row, if you will. Okay, here's a 1920. This is also Canadian. Lots of Canadian stuff. Some weird mark on here, like something was stored on it. The detail's pretty good, except for the center. 1920. I think I found one of these maybe in one of my hunts. I'll have to take a look. So another Canadian. Hopefully some of these other stuff are American. 1936. No mint mark. So common date, if I recall. Nothing too crazy there. So nothing overly impressive in the first three little sections, if you will. All the loose stuff in these two rows. But we'll start on this row, and I guess we'll start in the back. 1987D. I mean, that's impeccable condition, but it's more modern. 81 Philly. That was an 81. I'm sorry. 81 P&D. 79 Denver. These are all pretty much uncirculated. 78 Philly. All right, not looking too hot. 77 Denver. Again, uncirculated condition, but pretty common. Okay, here's a good one. 2015 S silver proof. So, and you can just tell by how immaculate that thing is. Got a little bit of edge toning over here, kind of a yellow color starting to form. It's kind of unique. Got some silver, so that's cool. Actually, we had some Canadian silver, but so far that's pretty neat. 73 S proof. A little bit of cameo on that, not much, but it's a 73. Nice. 1935 uncirculated, almost that red brown, and the details are incredible on this, but unfortunately this is a common year, so even in high grade I don't think this is very much money. Okay, all right, here we go. 1909. That might have been one of the ones I saw. I think there was two, if I recall, that I could see. Again, some of these pictures were blurry, so taking a little bit of a risk. So definitely in 1909. You can see in the date. And is it a VDB? I cannot tell, but you can see some original luster on this coin. This is definitely a 1909, and it's definitely uncirculated. That's pretty cool for that age. I'm gonna have to probably pull this one out. I don't think this is a VDB. I don't see it down there at the bottom. It's really hard to tell without a scope, but I do not see it. I doubt you'll probably be able to see it with the glare and the plastic, but I think that's just a 1909. We'll check that one later. Speaking of which, 1909 VDB. So that must have been the two that I saw. So 1909, again, pretty good detail on this coin. That one was definitely a better condition. And I do see the VDB. So again, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but maybe I really don't want to pull it out without gloves, because I mean, these are in pretty good shape, but you have to take my word for it. This one's a VDB. Not sure if I'll be able to catch it for you. But yeah, 1909 VDB. I know you can see that, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to see the VDB on the bottom. But overall, pretty cool condition, so that's neat. Let me show you this one up close on the camera if you can. But again, you can see some of that original luster hiding behind that brown. And this has some of that bluish toning on it with some original luster, so that is very cool. All right, next one. This thing's in rough shape here. Seen better days. 1909 wheat. Okay, I can't tell. This thing is pretty dirty. Should we pull this one out and take a look? Okay, I know I just said I didn't want to do this, but here I am. And this is a VDB. I'm almost certain. I can see the initials down there. This one is not as in good of shape as the other one, but nonetheless, it's a 1909 filly, and I believe it's a VDB. So again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch that on screen for you, but again, these need to be repurposed in some new flips. I'm going to be careful putting it back in there. All right, next one, 2012. That's a filly. I'm not even going to try to say that. One of the national parks. 2018 S proof. This one's Block Island. And that one, I think I can see the copper clad edge. Okay, 1939, which we had a 39 up here in one of the Littleton deals, but 1939, that's a 39 Denver. It doesn't say that on the front. You can see some old rubber band schmutz right there. 39 Denver, so another semi-key date. So we have a 39S in the Littleton and 39 Denver in a flip. All right, next up, 1961. This one's a proof. Doesn't look like it has cameo, but a proof. Another proof. And this one's going to be a Sacagawea 2017 S proof. That's the Sequoia, like a commemorative there. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that one before. I'm not a big fan of the new modern dollars, but that's still pretty nice. All right. So that's that row. I kind of saved up, let me just put this one back, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. So that row, I put out that 1909 VDB and that silver proof, kind of as the top dogs of that row. There wasn't really much in this row. It's 1911, you want to consider that. Okay, I'll start on this last row. A couple more rows, so bear with me. 1934 Wheat Penny. Again, I think that's a pretty common year with the filly. 35, again. Common year. That one's not in the best of shape anyway, but they got it in a flip. That's something I probably wouldn't even put in a flip personally, but okay, so this one's a 35, but much better condition. Still see some original luster. Yeah, so we'll zoom in here for you, but again, some original luster on this one, and it says Choice AU. Definitely a nice coin there, but again, common year. I don't think it's got much value. 1926, that one's pretty circulated. 26 filly. 1980 S proof, deep cameo, to be expected on that year. 1981 S type 1, and I think the type 2 is the better and more valuable one. 1960 large date proof. That is a very beautiful coin. Sometimes you just hold some of these coins and you think, man, that should be worth more money than that. And this is, hopefully the camera's picking this up, but this thing is immaculate. 1960 small date, and this is in the same, it's a proof obviously. Small date, I assume is what that is, looking by the date here. So 1960 small date. This is the better of the ones in 1960 to get, unless you can get a large date over small date, or whichever version of that it is. This almost has some cameo. Not sure if you guys can see it, but I've been wrong on that before. So if you guys watch my unboxing video, Annex unboxing, 84S, so that's going to be that deep cameo on those. 1979 S type 1, again I think type 2 is the better variant of that. 93 S proof, again cameo on those ears. Another 1960 large date, again proof, very, very nice. Not a ton of value. 1909 VDBs are, like I said, I think there's two, even though the one is not labeled as such. And then that 1909 with that awesome condition. 81S again, proof. Again, it's the type 1. So again, I think that is the common. There's a 70S, also very nice. Got some pretty cool toning starting on the top of this. Not sure if the camera will pick that up. All right, 1932 Denver. Not bad. I don't think that's very, I think it's pretty common. 35, this again is a filly. They have an MS60 on it. Definitely uncirculated. It still has some reddish, I don't know if that would get us a red brown. The back is a blazer for 1935. That's pretty cool. Incredible. 1958, they got it marked MS64. Again, just a blazer on the back there. All right, 2009, John Tyler, presidential dollar. I'm not too familiar with these. I think a lot of these are NIFCs, but I am not an expert in the presidential stuff by any means. Okay, so this is cool. I don't know what this is, but obviously 2018, and it's a reverse proof. And again, I'm not a fan of a lot of the Sacagaweas, but this is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Might have to hang on to that one. What's on the back? Jim Thorpe. Some football. All right. I can get down with that. Reverse proof, though, definitely caught my attention. That's pretty cool. They got a price on here of $15. I'm not sure what that's valued at, but very unique. I apologize, guys. I mean, this might be kind of a boring thing if I don't know much of what's going on, but 1944P Philly. It says BU. That may have full steps. 44 Philly. Silver war nickel. Got the, that may have full steps. I'll have to look at that one under the scope, but pretty nice looking war nickel. I wish the war nickels had a better value. I mean, some of them do, but 1971D, they have that as a choice AU. There's a big gash in his face, so that one may have full steps as well. 1916 Philly, it says XF. It's a 1916 Philly. Pretty unique. Kind of a different variety so far in this. Okay, hold on. 1950 Denver BU. Key coin. That is a key date. We've been looking for one of those in our nickel searches. 1950 Denver. Look at this. 1950 Denver. I don't think that is... I might. That could possibly have some full steps. We'll have to check these, but 50 Denver? I'm not going to pass that up. That's pretty cool. And that is impeccable condition. So definitely BU. Yeah. All right. That one and the reverse proof, they kind of take the cake for that row. Okay, getting down here to the end of this row. 1962. They have MS65, but this definitely has some proof sheen to me. So that would be proof. Yeah. It's got a little bit of haze on there, but that definitely looks like a proof to me. 1962, which was Philly. Yeah, I would say that's definitely a proof. So I'm not sure if the proof is going to bring much there. And lastly, and there's a 61 proof. Okay, so that is most likely a 62 proof. It's got the haze on it. You can see it there. 1961 proof, no cameo. Again, I don't think that brings much, but okay, so we're getting down to the wire. Appreciate you guys hanging on. We'll try to make this as fast as possible, but these big collections. 1919S. Try to trim this up as much as I can for you. 39 Philly. Pretty good shape, but again, common date. There's another, I'm going to zoom in here. There's another 1935, kind of that red-brown look. They got MS60 on there again. Definitely uncirculated and also has that blazer back. So two really nice 1935s. Not a ton of value in those. 1928, 1915 Denver. That's a little bit better. A little more valued. 1927 Philly. All right. Again, not great condition. All right, here's a surprise. Another 1909 VDB. 1909 for sure. And definitely VDB. You guys can maybe see it there. Not bad shape. You can see most of the wheat stalks there on the back. 1909. So that's our third, I believe. 1968S. Again, we have some uncirculated ones in the Littleton's stuff here. So not sure why that's in the flips, but 1926S. 26S, that's a key date or semi-key date. Yeah, 26S. That's a pretty good one. 1954 Blazer. Very, very nice. So there's some cool stuff in here, just nothing 59 proof. That's pretty nice. Can't be mad at that. 1929 Philly. 1938. 1924 Denver. No way. Guys, I think that says S on it though. You see that? I think that says S. They have it marked as a 1924 Denver, which is a key date. But I'm pretty sure that's an S. Oh man. Had my heart racing there for a second. That would have been awesome. A 50 Denver Jefferson. Yeah, I'm going to leave this one out. I got to double check that one on the scope, but I'm pretty sure that's 24S. Darn it. 1918. Not bad. 1920. Okay, this says 1910, but I can't even see through the plastic. So, I mean, it looks like there's dirt and stuff in there. 1910. 1919S. And I believe those are still pretty common in that year. Getting down to the wire here, we got 4 coins left. 1919 again, that's a common date. And this one, I can't really see inside of this one either. And there's some corrosion on the coins, so that's too bad on that one. Thankfully, it's a common year. 1912 Denver. 13 Denver. 1913 Denver. Apologize. That one's pretty cool. I'll put the mintage on the screen for you on that. Okay, last two. 1920 Philly. Pretty common. And the last one, 1927 Philly. Okay. Well, that's it. We have quite a few things. I don't really know the value of the Canadian stuff, so I'm going to have to kind of go through that. This has got me intrigued. Let me zoom in on this. So here's the coin. If you guys know what this is, I would appreciate, I don't want to flip it that way because it may fall out. But this is kind of upside down. So here's how you want to see that. And if I can get this where there's no glare, you can see the date there. I'll zoom in on that, and it's kind of got that crown on the top here. If you guys know what that is, I would definitely appreciate some insight on that. Nothing too crazy in this row. Really, there was a 39S Jefferson nickel there. Some really nice wheat pennies. Not wheat pennies, I'm sorry, the 68s. Obviously the proof. So nothing crazy value. 3 1909 VDBs. Can't be mad at that. Silver proof, 2015 Rosie. The one and only 1950 Denver in a BU, possible full steps. A cool reverse proof Sacagawea 2018 S. Again, reverse proof, very neat. And this 24, which again, that's an S. So unfortunately, not the 24 Denver. But let me know what you guys think. Overall, pretty cool stuff. This stuff's extremely fun to me. I have no idea what's in this box other than a few pictures, and you know, you see some of these older dates over here, not knowing if they're, in this case, Canadian or American. But if, oh, that fell out. That's not cool. But not knowing if they're American or Canadian. Didn't know what any of this stuff was. So fun to just search it. Let me know if you guys are like me and love going through stuff like this. To me, that $100 is, you know, you go take the family out to the movies, you spend $100 anymore. So this, maybe I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to the coins, but doing anything anymore seems to cost $100. And this is so much history here. Somebody's collection. Got a neat box to carry and store the stuff in. So let me know what you guys think. Was that a good buy for $100? I think with the VDBs and the 1950 Denver and the box, I think that's not a bad deal in my opinion. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I know it's going to be a long video, so if you stuck around, appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up if you would. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And we'll catch you on the next video. Coin flip out.